Hey guys, Chris here. Today we're doing the second leg of my trip to Trondheim, which is from Trondheim and then back to Oslo. So today's trip is a little more than 500 kilometers. Conditions today not as good as when we drove up here a few days ago. It's overcast, a little bit of drizzle in the air and around 14-15 degrees Celsius. I haven't looked at the forecast. Maybe we're going to encounter rain, maybe we're going to encounter colder temperatures. I really don't know. We're kind of like in a cold spell here in Norway at the moment, where it's just cold everywhere. So it's a bit interesting. And also, we're starting here with 47% stated charge, so not even close to fully charged. And that means we're gonna have to stop and charge maybe 2 times on this trip. But like our trip up here, this is just a leisure trip. We're not gonna stress, we're not gonna time anything, but we're gonna follow the consumption. I'm gonna give you guys stats and data along the way so you guys can follow along. And also, as our last video, this video is sponsored by Elton, which is a very awesome charging app, which we are going to be using today to see, well, where the chargers are vacant, what speed the chargers are, and just to make the whole trip a lot easier. In my previous video, somebody commented that they wanted me to use the route planner. So I'm showing it now. I'm navigating to Oslo and the car wants us to do 3 charging stops. But I actually think there's a charger right over here. I think there's some recharge chargers. Yes, so we have chargers here. I want to stop at this, potentially this Shell station here because I want to get some food. But okay, over there the chargers were before, but it looks like they are now on the far side of, or the rear side. Okay, over here they have a lot of Tesla chargers and they have a lot of recharge chargers also. But this is what the car wants us to do. So the car wants us to go further. The car doesn't want us to stop here, but I think we're gonna stop here. I think we're gonna stop here and then we're gonna connect. And let's see, I think we can park like this. And then we can connect. So if we take a look here, we're here with 18% stated charge. Just gonna put the car into park. And surprisingly enough, the battery is actually up to temperature now, even though it's only 30.5 degrees Celsius outside, 31 degrees Celsius. So that means we're gonna get full charging speed if we can get, well, enough power. But if we look at this charger here, it says actually 120 kilowatts, which is fine, that is because there are a lot of cars parking here and charging, so we're not going to get, you know, the full 150 kilowatts, or they may even be 200 kilowatts for this charging station as a peak charging speed. So let's take a look here. We've now been on the road for an hour and we've covered 83 kilometers and 27.2 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So yeah, that is a lot. That is a lot. That is really high consumption, but we're also climbing in elevation now. So we're gonna pop out now, connect at 80%. I'm gonna jump in, get some food, and we're just gonna do a leisure charging session. Probably 20, 25, or 30 minutes, I'm guessing. Yep. Here at our second charging stop. We are at the recharge charging station right outside of McDonald's in Elverum, and yeah, this is completely full. 8 out of 8 chargers are actually occupied, and that means we're getting a little bit limited speed. It's not too bad. 113 kilowatts at 16% with 8 cars connected. Not too bad. I'm not going to complain about that. We actually arrived here with 6% battery. So what we did is we charged to 80% at our first charging stop to have enough juice to be able to, well, cover the whole of Riksvei 3, which is this road from Ulsberg and down to this place here in Elverum. And that means I didn't want to stop anywhere along Riksvei 3 to charge because, well, a lot of traffic. On our way up, a lot of chargers were actually occupied and full. So I want to be able to get here because here we have this charging station, which is completely full, but we also have other chargers down the road here. We have a Circle K down here with Ionity chargers. We also have more chargers closer to Oslo on the way there. So not too bad, not too bad. And we're actually using the Elton charging app in today's video because they are the sponsor of today's video. Elton is an awesome charging app that will let you charge at almost all charge point operators in Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Denmark, including these recharge chargers or the Ionity chargers over here, or Circle K chargers. They will let you charge at almost all charge point operators in all of these countries. So one charging app, one charging interface, one charging map, and one payment method. Is super, super easy. And I wish I could show you guys this in real time, but because my camera stopped working last week, I'm actually using my phone to record these videos now. I can't show you my phone when I'm using it to film, right? But if you want to check out the app, there will be a link in the description box down below. So we're about 153 kilometers from Oslo now. The rest of the way, it is 4-lane motorways. Almost all the way, there's a small section with 2-lane, like 90 kilometers an hour speed limits, but the rest is 110 kilometers an hour speed limit. So I want to charge to maybe 50, 60% just to have enough juice to be able to get back without having to do another charging stop. But because it's motorway, it's a little bit wet. Temperatures have risen now, 17 degrees Celsius outside. We're still going to be burning through a lot of battery and have quite high consumption. So let's take a look at the actual consumption just to give you guys an update. So there we go. Been on the road for 4.5 hours, 361 kilometers covered, and it's actually dropped down to 22.7 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, which isn't too bad. You know, at the first charging stop, we were actually climbing to an elevation, and then terrible weather. That's why it was really, really high. It's dropped now, but since we have 4-lane motorways for the rest of the way, it's going to rise again. I'm guessing we're going to ride with maybe somewhere around 24 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So 22% state of charge now. We're probably going to sit here for 10, 15 more minutes. I'm going to go into the McDonald's here to just buy me something to drink, or there's a store here actually, and then go to the toilet, and I'll see you once we get back to Oslo. Yep. Finally, we are here. I'm back home now after 6 hours and 10 minutes on the road, plus about an hour charging. So both charging stops were around half an hour each. It was quite leisurely. I think I charged 63%, arrived here with 13%, and our consumption, well, it didn't rise as much as I thought it was gonna rise. We ended at 23.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So really nice trip, not a lot of stress, but I have to say, I haven't, taken my Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo on a long trip for a while. I think the last long trip was when I went to Copenhagen on the motorway. And I just have to say that I drive a lot of electric cars. You guys know that here on the channel. It's basically a new car every week. And I really love this car. I mean, I've kept this for a while, and I'm probably going to keep it for almost another year until my EX90 arrives. Maybe I want to do a Porsche, not Porsche, a Lotus Electra. But there just isn't any car that I really want to replace this with, except maybe an Audi e-tron GT. It's like the only other car that, and it's basically the same car, right? It just has a little bit of a different driving, the dynamics and characteristics. The e-tron GT is a little bit more comfortable, but less sporty. This has much better steering. The suspension is so good in this car, though the e-tron GT is just a little bit more comfortable, and I still think the e-tron GT is a prettier car on the exterior and a little bit more special because it's not as, this car isn't as rare as the e-tron GT, at least here in Oslo, where I live. But I mean, there's such little difference between these two cars. But this car, it's one of the best cars to drive, maybe the best electric car to drive on the market. It's very comfortable. It charges fast, even though we weren't able to utilize that today because of the corridor where we went. But just in the past 2 years, I mean, the update and upgrades to charging stations on that corridor is just immense. Just a few years ago, we had very little alternatives. Now we have a lot of alternatives. But this is just such a great car to travel with. I mean, the road holding, the comfort, the quietness. Even this with the Bose stereo, which is just one tier up. it's still good enough for you to enjoy music and playing it loudly. Of course, maybe if I ordered another one, I would opt for the Burmester, but still, it's very good. I mean, it's not great at anything, this car, except for driving dynamics and steering, but it's just good at everything. You know, adaptive cruise control, auto steer, the ergonomics, everything is just so easy to use. Even the route planner is quite good, even though I just use Google Maps because it's a little bit more accurate, and I also prefer just the map interface, the way Google Map looks, and with traffic and everything. And this is, you know, not a very long route, and I know where I wanted to stop. And also was using the Elton charging app to find out where the chargers were vacant and occupied. But I just really, really love to drive and travel with this car. So guys, let me know what you think about these past two videos, these travel vlogs. Do you like them? I'm gonna have a new one next week with the Mercedes EQS 580 4MATIC. We're gonna travel to Bergen. Maybe we're gonna go to Stavanger and just show you guys a little bit more of Norway and just, you know, doing leisure and relaxed trips instead of doing races. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys later and goodbye.